Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's that time again. The Real Talk Crew is back at it, talking the hottest topics in all of sports. Chris, how you doing today?
Oh man, I'm doing great. I can't complain too much. You know, my Sixers in the second round. My Eagles. I'm hearing a lot of positive reports about them. My Phillies suck, but that's besides the point. My two favorite teams are doing great. That means I'm doing great.
It's a great way to put it. Freddie, let's actually go to Kenny. Kenny, how you doing today on this beautiful Monday?
I'm doing all right. My team is not in the second round.
But there's a positive
My
though.
coach is the
let's
coach
talk
of the
about
year,
that.
so
True.
on a positive note, I'm happy
Shout
about
out to
that.
Tibbs.
Congratulations to Coach Thibodeau for being coach of the year. Much deserved.
For sure. Minnesota might have messed up firing him so quick. Definitely.
They messed up on everything they do.
Yeah, but that's kind of on
par for the course.
on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. The world wouldn't be right if the Timberwolves weren't messing something up. Jay, what you got to say?
Oh man, I'm doing good. Game one tonight. We're getting our brooms ready. So then, we got to do some house.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
Getting the brooms ready.
So
Talking about the Nuggets?
that's how we got to do it.
No, I think he got it for sweeping out the trash in the last round.
Oh.
Hey,
Come on, Kenny.
He not lying. He not lying.
You gotta,
Kenny.
you gotta go home. We put the defending champs away, so this should be light work. Get your Chucky Nuggets. Go get the
I don't
title.
know. That might have been a little too soon, Kenny.
Misery loves company, Carver.
Freddie, you got something to say?
What's going on, gentlemen? How you guys doing?
We all doing better than you. I can tell you that.
Oh no, I'm absolutely doing perfect today. Today's a beautiful day. You know why today's a beautiful day?
Tell us why.
Because last Thursday I might have overreacted.
Oh no, you can't take nothing back. You can't take nothing back. You can't take nothing back.
I might have let my feelings get ahead of me.
You can't
But
take
you
nothing
know
back.
My team is not in the playoffs. I don't take anything back what I said.
Show them the jersey you're wearing though. Show
I'm wearing LeBron jersey, the leader of the Lakers.
Yeah, leader. The leader of the Lakers.
The best
That
player,
was the
the
hot
king.
button topic last time.
Right now, he is the leader of the Lakers until he retires. I mean, let's just be real. I didn't say anything about his game. I didn't say anything about his talent. I said what's inside of his chest.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I said. If I don't recall what I mentioned on last Thursday. But the reason why I say it's a good day is because my Lakers can rest. They can get healthy, and they can start getting those.
What a spin!
Getting those rebuilding mode going. So it's a good day. Let's get to it.
All right, guys, let's hop into it right away. We can't not open with this. Let's talk about it. Mayweather Paul. I think we all watched it. So let's dive into it, fellas. Did it live up to the hype? I want to hear from Kenny on this one. Let's start with Kenny.
Honestly, I only saw highlights, so I didn't actually really watch it. But it didn't. I wasn't surprised. Mayweather just does what he does. He's not going to put himself in any risk. He's going to do just enough. So he carried the guy, and unfortunately, we know that Mayweather, in terms of his hand, he has a hand issue. So he can't really step on the gas and really step on his punches, really put his power behind punches. So he's not going to ever be that guy that's going to drop guys anymore. Those days are long gone. So it's just typical Mayweather. Make you miss, just always in shape. Going to go 12 rounds. He's going to do what he does. He's going to, pace himself. He's going to, get in there, make you miss shots. He's going to hit you. He's going to work you to the body. He's going to hit you with that straight right hand whenever he feels like it. It's just Mayweather's Mayweather, even at 44 years old. I had no expectation coming into this. It was an exhibition, and that's exactly what it was.
Definitely. Freddie?
Yeah, Ken, it lived up to the hype because I didn't expect anything more, anything less. This is Mayweather. I always tell folks this about Mayweather. Mayweather is a boxer, but he's what you call a professional boxer. He's gonna do just enough just to win. He's not going out there to make this exciting knockout or anything like that. You know, Mayweather. Let's be honest. He's being smart who he's fighting. I mean, he's not going out there fighting, you know, this young, you know, dominant athlete, you know, in today's era. I mean, let's just be honest, because if he probably know that he's going to lose that perfect record if he go out there fighting somebody younger, more quicker, smaller, just as quick as he is.
I
So
was with you until you went there.
am I lying?
He's done everything. This is just fun for him. He's just getting paid.
He's not. He's fighting exhibitions. He'll fight anybody exhibition. He's not fighting no more professional fights.
No,
he's not fighting Haney. He's not fighting Teofimo Lopez. He's not fighting Tank. He's fighting exhibitions.
Yeah, it's just a
I mean,
break a sweat.
quite honestly, I don't know what people were looking for. He wasn't going into this fight as a boxer. He was going in this fight as an entertainer. He gave you exactly what he was there for. I mean, the dude secured $100 million, and I guarantee that there was some payment inside the clause. There's a clause there that was paid for that said, "Don't knock me out." That's what Paul paid. Don't knock me out.
I don't know.
Seriously.
But he is such like a hype beast, like clout chaser. You don't think like he would maybe benefit from getting knocked out, or maybe be okay with getting knocked out?
Who, Mayweather?
No, because
I'm talking about Paul.
No, because I see that narrative that you would take there, but you gotta understand he's still 3 fights. This is his second fight that he's done in this exhibition thing. So this circus routine, this circus act is just getting started. Like there's a lot of different paths we can take. You know what I mean? We're just 2 fights into the tour that he can be taking.
That is very true.
I agree with the narrative there, but I think it's too early in his path for that to happen.
Chris, what do you got to say?
Man, first of all, they was trying to knock each other out. I don't know what y'all were watching. Floyd just doesn't have the hand strength. Please, y'all said if you watch the entire fight, I will send the clips in the chat. Floyd was swinging to murder him, and there was times where Floyd was catching him early, and Jake had to lean on him. Floyd connected with some crazy shots. He just doesn't have the hand strength no more. Watch the past couple of 3 fights. The 3 fights, he's in his corner saying, "My hands hurt, my hands hurt, my hands hurt." He doesn't have the hand strength. He was catching Logan right on the chin multiple times. The reason why Logan didn't drop so fast.
Always been Mayweather.
But he was trying to knock him out. He wasn't trying to. In the first couple of rounds, he was having fun. Towards the end, bro, he was trying to knock him out. And Logan, there was nothing in the contract saying don't knock out Floyd. Logan was going for the kill. There wasn't you can't knock me out. His only reason in there was to have a good fight.
But you gotta understand, Chris. You gotta understand. This isn't Deontay Wilder. This isn't. These are none of these fighters we watch today. The type of speed that Mayweather has, don't get it confused with him throwing a haymaker. He has hand speed. So yeah, when he misses he
got hand speed, but he doesn't have the he was hitting him. You can see the bruises on his face. I can read to you the stats. Floyd was 43 for 107, 36 out of 93 of his power punches. He was trying to knock him out in the later rounds. He couldn't. They was both going for knockouts. Logan was trying to go for the knockout in the first round. They were both going for the knockouts. That was the entertainment part. That's why it was no judges. The only way to win is to be knocked out. Floyd even said it. I'm glad we went to the 12-ounce gloves. I think it was 10 or 12-ounce gloves so somebody could get knocked out. They were both going for the knockout, Jay.
That's all hype, man.
That's all it is, bro.
Y'all tripping.
It seemed like in the middle rounds.
At this point of Mayweather's career, he's not like he was when he was younger.
He's not going for the knockout. The most entertaining part would have been him knocking him out.
No,
not everybody complaining because they got ripped off.
But listen. I understand what you're saying in a mindset of the fighting, but in a business mindset, you got to understand these two are
with
on a
this
whole
Floyd game.
The build.
What does who? I will answer. What does who game?
To that fight. The build up to this
fight gains more M's in his bank account. That's what he's gaining. That's all Floyd is.
I'm saying, what do you think? What you saying? What they gain from the knockout? They both gained something from it.
Floyd gained from knocking him out.
more entertaining. Okay, he might not gain nothing money wise, but everybody would say would be more entertaining. He said he wanted to entertain. Nobody was
Maybe
entertained after watching this fight.
We'll have a bigger boom, but I think this was more of an investment. It's kind of like a rapper coming up and he goes and pays for a feature from Lil Wayne to get Lil Wayne on his track so he can blow up afterwards and have more fans.
I never seen Lil Wayne do something without somebody that didn't have something of their own. Logan Paul was bringing something of his own to this fight.
I think he paid in and he helped put this thing together.
But I see your point though, Jay. I think now, if I'm understanding you correctly, Jay, Logan Paul now can basically start to even make more.
They're
money
prize
on
fighters.
His
Him and his brother are prize fighters. They're not trying to be real boxers. They're trying to be the biggest prize fighters in the world.
But I think that's what.
So you don't think him knocking out Floyd will make that even better for him?
I understand. I understand your point. I just think that he feels like now being in the ring with Mayweather, being a draw now, he's got that, a pay-per-view under his belt. He's got people's eyes on him. He's got people that he's in demand now. So I think this Mayweather now ups his rate.
Oh yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I'm just saying, like, they both were going for knockouts. If you were watching the fight, it wasn't like they were trying to say
entertainment, man. I honestly, Chris, I agree.
Floyd was trying to, bro. If Floyd was trying to knock him out, why do you think Logan was hugging so much? That man was stumbling.
He was tired. He is not a fighter.
So when I'm going to the body and you're dropping your hands and I'm catching you on the chin, I'm just doing that to have fun, or I'm doing that to put you on the canvas?
No, Floyd was gonna definitely show him, hey, I'm a real boxer. I can really hurt you towards the end of the fight. Yeah, but I don't think he was actually trying to actively knock the man out. Like when he stunned him, with that straight.
I'll say this. For a fight that was supposed to be entertaining, this is why I don't pay for fights. Because that was not entertaining at all. The most entertaining fights was the Hurd fight, even though Hurd ended up losing. Yeah. That was a good fight. An Ocho Cinco fight. And Ocho Cinco won 3 out of the 4 rounds. Everybody wants to talk about he get dropped, but he got up 1 second later. It wasn't like he slept him like Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson didn't train at all. Ocho Cinco trained with the Charlo twins, and you could tell he trained because he was controlling that fight.
Really good job.
He was controlling that fight up until he got dropped. Then he got up literally 1 second later. 1 second later, he stood right back up like, okay, we good.
And
so it's like that was not entertaining at all. So I don't pay for the stupid fights. I'll probably pay for Spence and Pacquiao.
You respect the sport of boxing, man.
But I love the prize fights, though. I love like Jake Paul. I love what they're doing, but I'm not gonna pay for it.
Say you won't pay for it.
Which I mean, wow, it's free. What should we pay for it? It's free. It's been free for years. Bro, like paying $50 to watch something for 2 hours. Free.
Well, let's just be honest, man. Like I said, Mayweather to today's game.
I say this though, I'm definitely, if I was somebody, I'm not paying for the Mayweather exhibitions.
Yeah.
If this how it's going to be, 8 rounds, no fun. I ain't paying for this.
Let's face it, man. Mayweather's been this for a while, at least especially the last couple of years. He's more of a professional boxer than a cold knockout boxer, man. That's who the dude is.
I mean, we know that, Freddie. We know that. I'm just saying.
We expected everything we saw.
I mean, no, he used to be a knockout artist until he lost all his power because he's been fighting for 40 years. He's been fighting all his life. He used to really put people to the canvas. But
I don't know why people are surprised. I don't know why people think they're going to see something totally different.
Because if Logan Paul wasn't 6'3", 200 pounds, if that dude was 5'9", 170, he was getting dropped.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Going for the kill.
Let's move on to the next topic, guys. I think this is going to be a fun one to talk about. It was reported in an article from Albert Breer that Julio Jones didn't know he was on live TV when he made those comments about wanting out of Philly or wanting out of Atlanta, and he threw a little shade at Kenny's Cowboys as well. Let's start off with you, Chris. What do you have to think? What should the consequences? Should there be consequences for when these big shows do these things?
I mean, it would have been bad for business if Floyd. That don't make no sense. How would have been bad for business if he knocking somebody out?
Yeah. We'll go back to that another time.
I don't even got nothing to say about that. It's just dumb. Thank you for your comment, but I don't understand how knocking somebody out is bad for business. Where that was all the prop bets.
I think we all agree that probably knocking Floyd, a knockout would have been the best result of that fight.
But with Julio though,
Yeah,
I honestly think with Fox Sports, I mean, I don't know if you terminate Shannon because nobody cares about Skip no more. I mean, the right thing to do would be to get rid of Shannon, but you brought him in there for that reason, for the realness, for the access. That's why they bring in all these former players. They want the access. They want what Shannon Sharp brings to them. Now, what he did was very unethical, and we all knew it from the jump. As soon as he laid back, yo, bro, we already knew it was all bad news.
It's I
mean, would I be surprised if we got fired? No. Do I think they're going to fire him? No. I'm curious to see what they're going to adjust. I think if it's a fine, FS1 needs to pay that because without Shannon Sharp, nobody watching Undisputed. Nobody wants to see Skip say the same things he's been saying for the same 10 years that don't make no sense. It's entertainment, and Shannon brings a lot of that entertainment. For me personally, I don't watch it no more, but if I do watch it, it's because of Shannon. And so I think there should be consequences. I just don't know if Fox Sports is going to go all the way and fire him. So I think you fire him, you lose that 2.5 hour show.
Yeah, I think so too. What do you have to say, Jay?
And I feel bad for Julio though. I just want to put that out there too. I feel real bad for Julio getting disrespected like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What can you do? What can you really do to him? Not much. You lose, like you said, you lose Shannon, and you pretty much lose that show. You lose Shannon, you pretty much lose a big chunk of your network because now Shannon has the opportunity of switching over to ESPN and, really doing some favorable shows over there and getting some connections with some good talent that they already have lined up. So you're in a bad spot.
He got Club Shay Shay.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a bad spot if you're Fox Sports. Because honestly, I mean, what is the punishment? There's no punishment that's been set in stone. There's nothing for any of them to be afraid of. Now, one thing I'll tell you as a player, I ain't answering his calls no more.
Yeah, I think he lost a lot of access.
Boy, yeah. We'll see how much pull he has, in the upcoming season. And what interviews he's able to grab, and what information he's able to get from this. And I think it also hurt Atlanta's trade value with him. So.
Let's talk about what Nate said, because that's kind of how I lean. I'm not sure if I believe it. I mean, Shannon Sharp's on TV at the same time every single day. That's just kind of my opinion. I'm not calling Julio a liar.
But he could have called him on a break.
I know. I'm sorry.
He could have called him on a commercial.
You're right. And I didn't think about it from that perspective. But Kenny, do you want to go off on kind of what you have to say about it?
No. The only thing that I would add is that it's still at the end of the day. To me, it's just going to be a money situation, whether it's going to be an FCC fine or something other like, and whether they dock Shannon or something like that. It's going to be some money situation. It might take a little cut. He might take a little haircut off of his his salary for this year, having to pay that FCC fine. But that's all I see. They're not firing. I can't see them firing Shannon Sharp because, like Chris said, then Undisputed goes that it's dead. So they're not going to fire him. They're going to do what they have to do in terms of eating the money or whatever the case, whatever they got to do to clean it up. They'll clean it up. That's what I think happens. They just clean it up and they go on business as usual.
Freddie, looks like you got something to say.
They're not firing Shannon Sharp. Listen, man, he's the star of this show. If anything, you find the man. If anything, maybe a one-show suspension, but they're not going to get rid of Shannon Sharp. I mean, he's the star of the show, or you can even say star of the network, to be honest with you.
I don't know about network. I definitely say show, though.
I mean, he's top 5.
He's one of them, for sure.
He's one of the faces on the network, but you got a show before that and after that get just the same amount of views. But he's the star. He's one of the stars, though, face-wise.
And to be honest with you, I don't think he's going to lose none of his credibility. I think the players still going to still respect him. They're still going to shout out to him. I expect that he'll release a statement, an apology or whatever, and they're going to believe him as a man. So
But like, how would you feel? All right, Freddie. I know you're not a sports guy, but just pretend you were a sports guy. You're in the NFL, and you see one of your brothers, right? He's having trust in somebody, and then something like that happens. Are you not going to feel some type of way towards Shannon? Like, can I trust what our conversations are going to be private now? That thought is going to run through your brain, even if he comes out and apologizes, which I think he would do. And I don't think he was trying to be malicious or anything, but in the back of your mind, you're like, yo, you're one of us. Like, is everything I tell you in a private, like Deion Sanders says something where, listen, when I talk to these guys, it's not me now. I'm going to, when he used to be on NFL Network, I'm reporting on the show. You're talking to Deion, the number one corner of all time. So I feel like in back in this, not all, but it may run through some people's minds, like, can I really trust Shannon and tell him how I feel about this player in this situation?
Right.
I feel like that might happen.
I definitely understand you when you say that, but they will respect him if he come out and apologize. Say, "Yo, man, I made the mistake. Hey, trust me as your brother. This will never happen again." And if he does that, I mean, they know Shannon Sharpe is real. I mean,
you could respect him and still not want to talk to him. That can still happen, though. Is what I'm saying. That can still happen.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I think he's.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I think this is a one-time thing that he's built up enough credibility with the players that they'll give him a pass on this one, and still kind of because at the end of the day he's still well respected. I think it was just a joke that went bad, and that's what he gets for trying to clown my Cowboys.
And I will say this, gentlemen.
Who doesn't like to clown the cowgirls, you know?
I will say this. To me, I think Skip Bayless knew he was going to make that phone call. And Skip Bayless could have, stopped Shannon from doing that,
I don't know.
Personally,
it seemed pretty off the cuff.
I feel like, bro, if Skip knew he was going to – Skip has been in this game for 40, 50 years. If Skip knew he was going to make that phone call, I promise you, Skip and the moderator were not going to let him make that phone call. The producers were, I'm telling you, one thing about Skip, he not trying to break no rules. He not doing that.
Hey, I agree with you, but at the same time, who's going to tell Shannon no?
You got to shoot.
Yeah, exactly. But
you can't be afraid to tell another man no, though.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's move on. This will be a fun way to kind of get the debate going here, guys. Let's go to NFL hot takes. Freddie, you want to lead us off?
Yes, I do. There was a trade that happened on Sunday morning with the Tennessee Titans and the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons just gave Julio Jones away. But I will say this. The quarterback in Tennessee is under a whole lot of pressure now. Ryan Tannehill. If he don't get it done a trade like that told me, okay, we're going to see how good our quarterback really is. We know what Derrick Henry is. We know what A.J. Brown is. We're going to see what type of quarterback we have now. When you bring in a Julio Jones, there should be no more excuses that this man could not get it done on passing the football. And if he does not get it done this year, I don't think none of us expect this team to beat the Chiefs, but we expect
Speak for yourself.
We expect this team to be better than the Bills. We expect this team to be better than the Browns. We expect
now speak for yourself on that.
Better than the Ravens.
Speak for yourself.
Stop saying we. Stop saying we.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Now they should
one of those statements you just
listen. You mean to tell me if you give Tom Brady, Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, whoever, Julio Jones, what they have already, they're not going to exceed these other teams? They're supposed to.
But you said wait. You said Tom Brady, Mahomes.
But I don't understand what that correlation means for anything you're saying, though.
Ryan Tannehill got Julio Jones, the same person that you're putting on the hot seat on your hot take.
Yes, if they do not get it done this year, at least be the second best team in the AFC, he's gone.
Oh, well, he's gone.
I got a question. Like, we be saying they gone and stuff, but like, what if he plays a perfect game and the defense suck? You still gonna blame the quarterback? Nobody wanted to blame Patrick Mahomes. Nobody wanted to blame Patrick Mahomes.
All I'm saying is his.
Chris. No, I agree with Freddie.
I see what you're saying, Freddie. If he doesn't do his job, he's going. But don't say if they don't, because he could have a baller season. They still trash, and it's not his fault.
But Chris, a lot of
that can't happen, Jay.
Offense is a great defense.
Jay, that can't happen. A quarterback still do his job, but they lose.
Not with the running back the way they have, Chris. I agree with you, but with Derrick Henry out there, Tannehill should be able to manage the game, shove Derrick Henry down any defense's throat, and then once they get in the red zone, throw the ball up to Julio. It should be like clockwork. Now, with that being said, because you got Derrick Henry doing that, you should be able to control the narrative on how many possessions a team like Kansas City is getting, how many possessions a team like Buffalo is getting. That's what me and you talked all year last season, why Buffalo needed a running back.
Not a
couldn't keep other teams off the field.
What'd you say, Kenny? You don't believe that?
Sorry. No, I was talking about Eric Holmes. Is Tannehill the number one fantasy quarterback this season? Not a chance.
Nah, Derrick Henry's going to get more touches with two studs like that.
What do you guys think about the earlier comment? Were the Titans on the rise before the Julio trade?
Yeah, they last year they got let down because the defense they had no pass rush.
And what have they done?
They really haven't done anything. I was looking at it the other day too.
To my knowledge, I haven't seen them, and I might be mistaken because that's one thing, but I haven't seen them in the news. And I think they had a decent draft, not great, decent.
Didn't they lose a receiver or two too?
They lost a receiver, but they drafted one, and you just replaced them with Julio. You drafted one.
And they lost Jonnu Smith to the Patriots.
Yeah, that's the big one. Losing the tight end for me is the big one.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to relate it to the question. Weren't they already on the rise before? Yeah, I mean they were from last year. But they lost
they got Bud Dupree.
Yeah, they got Bud Dupree, Danico Autry,
and they got Caleb Fairley. If he's healthy, he's going to be okay. So I'll say this: their defense isn't great though. It's still not great. It's still not great. But I mean,
still feel like they lost a lot before this Julio trade. That Julio trade really caught them up for this offseason.
Yeah, I no tight end for me is still the hurt one, but I think getting Taylor Lewan back, you're getting a Pro Bowl, offensive lineman. You got Bud Dupree,
linebacker, all at the same time.
Exactly. So with Corey Davis, he's way better than Corey Davis. So I don't even think that should be that's the easy replacement.
That's what I said, but. That's why I said, but you lose a tight end and wide receiver. I said, would
Julio's both
like a wide receiver, tight end, linebacker running around anyways.
Full safety and all that.
Yeah. So many stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, hit us with your NFL hot take.
Listen, man. After a lot of discussions with a lot of the ones close to me that we talk sports every day, I'm putting money on the Eagles over. The over, I believe, was 6.5. I'm putting a faithful amount of money on the Eagles over. Here's why. Offensive line.
You ain't buying no Christmas presents this year.
Offensive line don't matter. We can make homemade cards and it's all about the love. It's all about the love. Offensive line, I'm not saying we're going to win 14, 13 games. I'm definitely saying we can easily win 7 games. Offensive line means everything. Last year, everybody went to blame Wentz. Understandable. He played like trash. We have 14 different offensive line units in 16 games. Now, I understand how bad he played, but you cannot say that with a straight face and say that didn't have no effect on the Eagles. So this year, we're getting back Lane Johnson. We're getting back Brandon Brooks. We're getting back Dillard. We drafted Dickerson in the second round. We got a lot of depth on our offensive line. I feel like if the offensive line is healthy, we're minimum winning 8 games. Minimum. On the defensive wise, you get upgrades. We bring in Devonta Smith. You bring in a way better head coach and a better system. Again, I'm not saying we win a division.
Way better head coach?
Yes, with a better offensive system. I seen what he did over there in Indianapolis. It's way better than anything we had with the Eagles post whatchamacallit going to the Colts. Offense has been very consistent after the head coach of the Colts now when he was our OC. The two previous years, the offense was way too inconsistent. I'm saying, not saying we're winning division. Not saying we're going 12-5. Over under is 6.5 wins. We're at least winning 7 wins this year, minimum.
I honestly don't hate that. I think in that division, easily they could sneak 4 wins in that division right there. between Dallas. I know Washington will be better, but I mean with Fitzpatrick, I don't know. I mean,
Not
the
saying
defense is
we,
good.
not saying we win the division. Not saying we
I know.
go
I'm not
4-2.
saying you're going to win the division, but
I'm just saying we
I
won
could see
7
you winning
games.
3 or 4 games right there, and then obviously with that long season.
So Carver, who are you saying? What position the Eagles going to go in? I mean, what are you saying?
I mean, I could see them. I could.
Toss
I,
up.
Yeah,
There's no
I
yeah.
agree with Chris. I'm
Yeah,
just
let me
saying.
hear
I
these.
think
I
they
want
could
to
win
hear
over
these
6.5
4
games.
wins in the division. That's the part. You got to help me
I
out
don't.
with that.
I don't think Dallas. I don't think Dallas, Washington, or New York are head over heels that much better than the Eagles on any given Sunday. You know, it's the
You don't
NFL.
know.
It's crazy.
You must not be watching football. I mean, carry on.
I mean,
When
the
has
last few
anybody
years,
ever
the Eagles have
swept
struggled
that
with
division?
injuries.
When has
That's what
anybody
I'm
ever
saying.
swept that division,
It's a
Freddie?
fun big division.
I can't ask you, Freddie, because you jumped to the Packers, Kenny. When is who?
You
Yeah,
a Colts fan?
Never in my life have I ever been a Colts fan.
Everybody takes turns winning the division. That is fair.
Yeah, it's a weird division. It's a.
And who
That's
turned
all I'm
it now?
saying.
The Browns turn.
Yeah, okay. Next
Hey,
year.
that leads me to my
After you get
hot
rid of Danny Dimes, then maybe you'll.
Danny
Once you
Dimes
find
the
a
best
quarterback.
quarterback in that division right now.
Oh,
Stop it.
please.
Stop it.
Oof,
That's
I
the
don't
truth.
know.
What world?
Come on, that's just disrespectful.
What?
All right, Kenny, what do you got?
Dude, we're going to stay right here in the division since y'all got me started.
I was
Look here.
very calm with mine. I was very
Look
calm.
here. Dak is coming back with a vengeance. The Dallas Cowboys will be a top 5 offense in the league next year. You heard it here first.
Can I get a reply on that one?
Freddie, I want to hear what you have to say.
That ain't that bad.
How far? Okay, you're gonna have a top 5 offense next year, but how far is that going to get you guys without a?
But Freddie, it's an NFL hot take. He said it's hot take. Then he said it was going to win everything.
I'm asking a question. I can't answer the question.
All the defense has to be is middle of the pack. All it got to be is be solid.
You know who you sound like right now, Kenny? You sound like Michael Irvin. He said the same thing.
Because it's common sense. You know, if anyone, that's all you need. That's all. That's all.
Michael Irvin is the Magic Johnson of the Lakers. They always hype their teams up and say all this, but when they lose, they change their mind.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll move on because I got some more stuff for the Lakers, but I'll save it for the.
No, the Lakers are out of it. Why are we talking about the Lakers? Why?
You brought it up, not me.
You want to, be Mr. Send shots, but you can't receive them.
I mean, you are wearing the jersey, Freddie, and you did go off on the last show about.
Well, I got called out.
Having no heart, and
Chris called me out. Said, "Tell me with the jersey." I'm making
you kind of put the nail in the coffin on the Lakers. Really, you really did. In general. All right, Jay, what's your hot take?
Well, since we're in the division, my hot take was in the division. It should be great. I think Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat and he gets fired by the end of the season. I think that last year, even with his struggles, huh?
Oh no, you didn't.
No,
he said McCarthy's up out of here.
I think he's getting fired. And this is to kind of attest to what you were saying, Kenny. I think last year you guys could have been a little bit further than you were. I think that McCarthy messed up.
Where?
A few
How?
Years. He had some bad.
With that atrocious defense.
But you guys did not listen. I don't even want to give you guys any props, so this is hard for me to say. But you guys weren't that far out of games. I think there was bad decisions that led to momentum switches and the wrong timings of games that led to you guys losing at least 3 to 4 games last year. And I'm looking at your guys' roster. Coming back, if everyone does remain healthy, I do agree that you guys have you're in the upper portion of the top 10 as far as offenses next year. I agree with that. So with that being said, you need a mediocre defense, and you're right. You're right there at the top of that division, and you're right there into the playoff race. So anything less than
how's
that,
it getting fired? So none of that happens.
So if they don't make the playoffs, you're saying if they don't make the playoffs, he's fired?
If you have a rocky start, if you have a bad period, if you go on a 4-game losing streak, something like that, I'm telling you, he is on the hot seat already.
I think he was. Yeah, I think he's I think that's a fair criticism. I think there's a good chance that if the Cowboys struggle, Mike McCarthy could get fired. I mean, it felt like he could almost have gotten fired after this last season.
I thought he was out of there last year.
Yeah.
How?
Because there was a few games that I felt like you guys lost off of bad dumb decisions.
So you really thought that Andy Dalton and the probably the worst defense you've seen in the last 5 years should have pulled out some games as opposed to games that they should have won some games that they didn't win? I'm not, and I watch every week, so I'm not.
You ever heard the Raptors say, "I got it out the mud"? You ever heard them say, "I got it out the mud"? You guys are in the division.
But they didn't have nobody. They didn't have nobody to get them out the mud, though.
Yeah, but you guys are in the mud. That division was horrible last year.
Oh, it was.
And I still feel like you.
That was by default. That was by default. We were in the. We hung in till the end by default because the division was bad. Nobody wanted to win the division, so that's all that was. We wasn't ever no contender.
Kenny, I don't know why you're so confused. Mike McCarthy is not that great of a coach. I mean, there's a reason why Green Bay got rid of him. I mean, when you just think about it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We know. Yeah, we know you know why Green Bay got rid of him. We know you know why Green Bay got rid of him.
Did you just watch your other team play basketball, the Brooklyn Nets? I mean, the same. Good for the goose, good for the gander. I mean,
I ain't know Kenny had another team.
There's only one fact. There's only one fact.
There's a reason why Green Bay fired him. Because this man is not adapted to the new NFL, not adapted to the new way of coaching. He's still stuck in old ways, and that was not working with Aaron Rodgers. What make you think he's gonna change for y'all?
I'll say this though. All Kenny said was they're gonna have, and I'm not defending the Cowgirls. I'm just defending Kenny because what he said made sense to me. All he said was they'll have a top 5 offense. Before that got hurt. They had a whole,
the Eagles will win 7 games.
They had a whole. They were putting up a whole bunch of numbers. Not saying translated to wins, but Dak was trying to on pace to break all these records. He was staying in, some of the passing. Exactly. So with a terrible defense, it's very possible we can have a top.
I'm not gonna say he had to. A lot of those numbers he chased. I mean, let's be honest.
I don't want to say chased. They were down 17 with 3 minutes. You got to pass.
They were double figures. Time week after week, so
he 3 minutes left. You got to pass.
Into the game.
And when the game is over, the defense, the opposing defense is playing prevent defense.
So you're not supposed to. I see what you're saying, Freddie, and I'm with you. I'm not saying he's the best passer in the world, but that's what. But you're saying everything. All those stats
prevent defense down.
All those stats translate. All those stats translate to top 5.
NFC East lovers.
Yeah, let's move on.
There's only one person right here that wants to defend everybody in the NFC East, but his team not even in the NFC East. Look at this guy right here, Packers fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't even got no muscles.
Don't make me pull up the receipts.
Pull them up.
You didn't got me started. Okay.
Let's keep moderator. Keep things rolling, please.
Yeah, keep it rolling, Eric. Keep it rolling.
Okay, let's move on. We already talked about it a little bit with Freddie's hot take, but let's go through quick. The Julio trade. Let's start with you, Kenny. What are your thoughts on it?
Nate,
I said that it would be a second round pick. So that teams was waiting it out, and I think that's what happened. I think the market wasn't what the Falcons thought it was going to be for Julio Jones, and they took the best offer that they felt they could get at this time. So as much as people say they stole Julio Jones, let's not forget that Julio has been banged up the last couple of seasons. He has not, he's had some health challenges. He's had that hamstring issue, and we know about hamstrings. Those things can be nagging. Yeah, and he's not getting any younger. So it's not like if this is a 25 or 26-year-old Julio Jones and for a second-round pick, then yeah, that's a steal. But this is a 31-year-old Julio Jones. So this is not the same Julio Jones that everybody's used to seeing. So I think they just took the best deal that they could, and of course, if I'm Tennessee, I'm making that deal every day, all day. Mm-hmm. So kudos to them for making that deal, and now they have some balance. They have a number one wide receiver. You know, as much as we have concerns about Julio Jones, but when he's healthy, he produces. There's no question about that. So that he's a number one receiver when he's healthy. So the fact that they got a number one receiver to, you know, take some pressure off of Derrick Henry, they can maybe be a little more balanced, maybe be a little more explosive. I do think you losing Jonnu Smith hurts. If he's still there, then whoa, that offense could have been really dangerous. But you know, it was they got the best deal that they could for him. So I honestly, you know, I just think they made the best deal that they could for him.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm with Kenny. I say this though, you look on social media and you see a lot of these players from these different teams complaining, like Julio, like I saw Jalen Ramsey, you know, Cam Jordan, you know, Mark Ingram, saying it's crazy that, you know, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, basketball game poster, but I'm sorry, Jay, but I mean, it's crazy that he was only worth a second. I'm shocked that teams didn't want to throw out a first. I think he's worth a first. Like Kenny said, when healthy, you know, when healthy is the question mark. But in a winning system with your team, you know, they got a lot of weapons. You don't got to overuse him like I feel like the Falcons were. So I feel like maybe if he's not overused, he's not getting injured, you know, re-aggravating injuries as much. But I mean, if I'm the Titans, you do this all day the week. You know, you add Julio, you got AJ Brown, you got Derrick Henry, you got a squad. Now you're in a tough division between you and the Colts, but now you can say that you're the favorite, and anybody can be beat. It's every time in the football, it's not 7-game series like the NBA where the best team wins. Anybody can be beat. So now when you have two dominant wide receivers and a dominant running back, you're making it tough for a lot of defenses.
Jay, what do you got to say?
I mean, I agree. It's not much to add there. I mean, they were 11-5 last year. They're not. I don't think it improves them too much as far as the win-loss column. Maybe they sneak one more win in there. But as far as dynamically, yes, they got better dynamically. But as far as the team overall, I mean, I didn't see a lot of movement. They're not gonna be the second best team in the AFC. They're not playing. I don't think they're playing Kansas City in the AFC Conference Finals next year to go to the Super Bowl either. I still think Buffalo's a better team than them. I still think Kansas City's a better team than them. They solidified that division for another year. The Colts, as much as they stepped up, I think they're still that much, further back. So we'll see what they do when they add on to this. If Julio stays healthy, we can get a good flush of this, and we'll see about next year.
I would maybe add the Cleveland Browns to that list too.
Hot takes.
I would maybe also add the Cleveland Browns to that list. Freddie, obviously you said kind of what you thought about it, but anything else you'd like to add?
No, I didn't like the trade at all. I'm gonna tell you why.
For what team?
I didn't like the trade for Julio Jones.
No, like what team?
For the Falcons or for the Titans?
No, it was a good trade for them. I didn't like the trade for Seattle Seahawks. I thought that they should have got involved. I thought they was the ones that should have tried to save Russell Wilson from trying to leave. I guarantee you get Julio Jones to Seattle. I know Jay don't want to see that. And then a lot of things change in that division. I thought Green Bay should phone to try to get.
There are more teams that should have got involved. I agree with you on that. You're right on that. It's a lot. I feel like almost every single team.
You wanted them for your Packers, right, Freddie?
Yeah,
no, I wanted them for Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, and Julio should want that as well. I mean, the Titans is a good team, but they're not winning the championship. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, they're not winning the Super Bowl.
You say that, but look, listen, I'll say this. We all say that, but when Stephon Diggs went to the Bills, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, they're just going to make the playoffs," and they made it all the way to the AFC Championship. And it was just those two guys on offense. No, and they had some complementary pieces. What's the difference right now between the Titans? Because the Bills' defense wasn't that good last year. It wasn't, and they still got all the way to the AFC Championship. So I'm not saying that the Titans are going to be the second best team, but we're writing them off like Julio's not Julio. Like Derrick Henry's not Derrick Henry.
Julio's really he can't stay healthy, Chris. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
but that division,
I agree with you.
that's a pretty easy division.
That's
to
a
win, though.
cakewalk division. Is you and the Colts, and that's
Oh,
it.
That's
Jacksonville
it.
will be better. I think Jacksonville will be a little bit better. You gotta imagine.
You said that with a straight face.
Not
Yeah.
bad, bro.
Okay, they'll be better than what they were
They
last
can
year.
be
They're not
better.
gonna win
Ain't
Ain't
one
no
game.
way to go. Ain't
They're
no
not
way to
gonna
go
lose.
but up.
They're not
There's
going to
no way
lose
to go
12
but
games
up.
in a row. You know what I mean? So
You can be better and still be trash at the
by
same
the
time.
rules of just like sucking, they're going to have to.
You could be better and still be
You know what
trash
I
at
mean?
the same
Like,
time. You know,
they're going to have to win at least 2 games, right? So, and hey, in the NFL, division games are just weird.
I agree though
Not when you
that more
trash.
teams should have got into it, but you got to remember all the teams that you led with are all in the NFC. So I think a lot of it played into Atlanta not wanting to meet Julio
the Patriots,
again in
the Colts, the Patriots and Colts were my top 2. The Patriots and Colts. The Colts had the most money. The Patriots, they're win now like crazy. For me, those are, and I was looking out for the Chargers as well and the Ravens. Surprised. I'm with you though, Jay.
Those are all practical teams.
Those are all AFC. No, I'm saying those are all AFC, not
Hey,
NFC.
Chris.
What?
No, I
You
agree
just
with
said
I agree.
something. You just said something, Chris. Do you think I can't think of the Herbert, whatever his name is, the Chargers? You gave him Julio? Yeah, it could have been the same thing would happen with
The Bills.
Keenan
the
Allen.
Bills. Yeah, with Josh Allen, it could have been the same thing with the Chargers.
And the healthy,
Justin
and the healthy
Keenan Allen,
Derwin
and
James.
yeah. Oh my gosh,
That would have been
crazy.
nasty.
But I'm with the J on. I really doubted he was going to another NFC team. That was really like I doubted
Yeah, he
it.
was
So that's where all my top teams from to go to were AFC.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's switch over to the sport we all love, basketball. Let's talk some NBA. Back on the hot take train. Chris, let's hear it. What's your NBA hot take?
NBA hot take. The Golden State Warriors will be in the finals next year.
Whoa.
So you're getting back. Let me explain this.
Yes, explain.
That might be,
that needs some context, some heavy context.
I expect everybody to be better. But when I'm looking at off-season projections, you're going to have a healthy James Wiseman and a healthy Klay Thompson back. You're getting 2 guys healthy back to this roster. You're going to have a lottery pick of your own. You're going to have potentially the Timberwolves pick, and this is all contingent on if they get a Timberwolves pick. If you get a Timberwolves pick, you got between 4 and 14. You're gonna have 2 top 5 picks in 2 years. You're also gonna have 2 lottery picks in this draft. So you mean to tell me you got 2 lottery picks in this draft? You got Andrew Wiggins who can be used. Yeah, all right, Eric. We don't even know what team you're for. You talking about 2 lottery picks, Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre and James Wiseman? You can get anybody you want. I don't see the Warriors sitting on their hands like the Celtics did. They're trying to make moves because you got Draymond Green, who's the window is closing. So if you get that Timberwolves pick, plus your own lottery pick, plus Kelly Oubre, who's probably not going to be able to fit on the team anyway because he's not starting, and you got whoever else you want to throw in that trade, they can bring back any free agent that's not happy. Any free agent, Dame, not saying go there, but they have more than enough to get Dame. 2 top 14 picks and 2 young guys. You got more than enough to get Dame. Kawhi, if he wants to go, more than enough to get Kawhi. They can get anybody who they want to add to their roster. I don't know if
Poole's a really good trade piece.
Poole. That's what I'm saying. You have young guys. You can throw in Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre. They can get whoever they want to add to this roster. I think they're going to make a lot of moves this offseason. I think people are going to want to go to Golden State. They're going to make some trades. They might draft some guys. But this roster is going to get 10 times better. Klay might not be the best defender in the NBA no more, but he's still going to be a top 5 shooter regardless. So I feel like this roster is going to make a complete 360, and they're going to be one of the best teams next year. I'm standing on it.
Yeah, I like what you said. I do think there's more of a sense of urgency with the Warriors, with their owner and Joe Lacob and Bob Myers, their GM, and
that's
closing.
It's closing.
And they know. And I'm a Laker fan, but I do, as an NBA fan, I do want to see the Warriors competitive again with Steph Curry. All right, Kenny, let's hear it. What's your NBA hot take?
Well, it's kind of on the topic that we're going to talk about a little later in NBA, but I'm going to just throw it out there. Luka Doncic will be the next superstar that demands a trade.
Ooh,
Whoa, that's very
I love it.
I like that. That's
there's
nice.
people that give hot takes.
Yep.
Say it again, Kenny. What did you say?
Definitely a good one.
Luka Doncic will be the next NBA superstar that will demand a trade. I think if he, I think he will get to the point where he feels like they'll never get enough help around him, and he's gonna want to be out of town because here's the problem.
He's going to Denver to play with Jokic.
And we'll talk about it later. So I'll leave it for that. But I'll just leave it with this: Luka Doncic is gonna be fed up. Going out in the first round in the last 2 years.
Nikola.
He will be the next NBA superstar to demand a trade.
Nikola Jokic, put in the word.
Jay. Hot take, NBA.
Russell Westbrook will again be traded. Before they even started this next season.
Who can fit that money under their cap, though?
Nobody. I got one. Kawhi leaves.
New York.
Kawhi leaves and he goes back to play with Paul George.
Well, I don't see that happening, but okay. It's possible. They got the cap room for it. That's true.
New York would be so dumb to pair him with Julius Randle.
Toronto might be in eligibility because Lowry's coming off the books. They got a few people coming off the books over there. Miami, what happened?
Sorry.
Hey, man,
I forgot.
I know to watch it, bro, and I know
Book came up limping. He came up limping.
See,
but he looked good now.
Something going on.
Nah, he looked good now. No, he looked good now. Like I think we just
about to go off camera.
Nah, Jay, he's good now. Jay, he good now. It was just a quick.
What goes around, come around, and
he's perfectly fine.
Don't wish that on us. But no, I really think there's a few teams that can really make it work. There's some signing trades available for teams like San Antonio, with DeRozan being a free agent. There's some movement to be made. So I really think that Russ is getting traded again, and Washington is going to really, really, really do the rebuild this time around. I think
I don't see no contender going after Russ. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I see a true championship contender wanting to trade for Russell Westbrook.
Real quick, though, before we move on, Freddie said pull out the receipts. So are you a Packers fan? Yes, but I like to watch the Giants. Mm-hmm. He asked for the receipts.
He asked for them.
He said pull out the receipts.
I'm not going to even clarify myself on that. Can I get my hot take?
Ain't no clarification. Yeah. You said you was a Packers fan.
My hot take. I decide I've been just debating on which way I want to go, but I'm gonna go with this one. I think, even though he did not play to his game like he did in Game 1 tonight, at the end of the season, Giannis Antetokounmpo's out of Milwaukee. He hasn't got that extension, but what he's going against the series, seeing that Chris Middleton is not stepping up to be that third man on his team. If you get swept by the Brooklyn Nets. If he gets swept, they get swept by the Brooklyn Nets. They're down 2. They get swept. He's out of there. I believe that
Golden State, like I said, 2 lottery picks and 3 players. Come on down, buddy. They're not passing that up in Milwaukee. Small market team not passing up on 2 lottery picks.
You got 2 lottery picks. And maybe throw in Wiggins, but you got to throw in Wiggins or somebody to make the salary.
Buy Andrew, buy Andrew, please. Buy James, please, man. Everybody.
You say buy Kelly?
Uber? Buy Kelly.
He's a free agent.
Buy anybody except for Steph
and Clay.
You
give me that Draymond go, honestly.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Well, go ahead.
I got a quick one, just to throw it to you guys. This was my thought for this, and I'm sure you guys have read this, but I think DeMar DeRozan is the answer for the Lakers this offseason.
No,
he's coming out. He's coming out. Listen, I think he's mistakenly washed. It's just because he plays in San Antonio and nobody watches him. Yeah, he's only 31. He's only 31. Second highest. He's coming off his second highest ever true shooting of his career and his best assist average. He averaged 7 assists last year, and that was his big knock is that he doesn't play make. He can give the Lakers 20 points every night, and he doesn't miss games. The last time I saw he really missed a significant amount of games was 2014. That's exactly what the Lakers need. Obviously, they also need a playmaker. I'm not saying he's the only answer. I think they need to go out and get obviously another playmaker, but he could be the guy that could play in the regular season, and he'll play 75 games. He'll get 24 and 6.
And he's from LA.
He'll be like what James Harden kind of was for the Nets this year. He'll kind of tote the rock. He's from LA. Just
crazy thing.
I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I'll go quick. Freddie, when we brought this up before the season started, you weren't shaking your head like this for one. For two, I think he's a good fit. But three, I think another team could use him more. The Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat could use him more because Pat Riley came out and said the reason why we traded for Victor Oladipo is because we needed somebody that can score at 3-point line in.
Yeah,
that's what DeMar DeRozan does best. So I don't think him going to the Lakers is bad because the Lakers need anybody that can score on their own. But I don't think that's the best fit. I think the best fit is Miami.
That's a horrible fit. You know why? Yes, I did say it was great for the beginning of the season, but this is why it's a horrible fit. We have no shooters. We need shooters. If Rob Pelinka go in this offseason and not sign no shooters,
you're right.
Lakers are done again this year.
You really do need shooters, but you also need somebody other than LeBron and AD that can get their own bucket.
Yeah,
so it's hand in hand, Freddie. You're not wrong at all.
Yeah, that is true.
Wrong at all.
You do,
but at the same time,
yeah.
At the same time,
because Kuzma's the worst player in
San Antonio right
you can address both.
Yeah, no,
but he's in San Antonio right now.
That. You could do DeRozan and then find a Duncan Robinson, for example.
The Lakers have no money. The Lakers have no money.
He's just throwing out a shooter's name. You're not saying you're getting him.
Yeah,
there's a lot of shooters in free.
Yeah, you can do a sign and trade. You can do a sign and trade with DeRozan and package some pieces to make that work.
They can gut the roster.
And then the thing is maybe not Duncan Robinson because he's probably gonna get more money than that. But I'm saying that type of guy, like a floor spacer that's a knockdown shooter.
What were you saying, Jay?
I mean, I agree, but you guys got to remember he's in San Antonio right now. There's such a structured offense that we forget that DeMar DeRozan was the powerhouse of Toronto for so many years, and he can take people. He was a beast. He can be the number one option. He can take jump shots. So I think that he would actually flourish in that style of play that LA brings, and not having to be the number one option, but capable of being a number one option scorer. So I think that would actually be a great pairing, and they need to get bigger at the two. It's not that they need shooters. It's not that they need to get big. KCP is so undersized constantly, night in, night out.
I would like to see KCP at the one.
He's probably better coming off the bench. Like to me, he's better coming off the bench. He's not really a starting caliber two, in my opinion.
But I would like him starting being the 3-and-D. You're right on that. But even if they keep him, I would like him starting being the 3-and-D. LeBron's your point guard. So all of the playmaker stuff, LeBron's your point guard.
Yeah,
DeMar DeRozan can be your second.
That was
DeMar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if he comes in and you bring KCP off the bench, and I think he becomes better for the Lakers when he's coming off the bench.
I think if you bring in DeMar, you can't bring back Dennis. So
if y'all realize, Dennis Schroeder is trying to say all the right things in the media because he wanted to get a ring, play good, then leave.
Yes.
Right now, he's trying to say all the right things in the media so somebody picks him up. He's not sniffing 100 mil.
No.
When you have Magic Johnson come out and say what he said about him, he's gone.
But Magic Johnson said a lot.
You got to understand, though. Dennis is smart, and so is LA. They'll go and they'll let everybody re-sign. They'll go through all their stuff and then re-sign their free agents.
Exactly. They got his bird right, so they don't have to worry about cap implications if they sign him.
Correct. No, they
all right, guys. I'm afraid to spend that money to win too.
So let's keep moving. Let's talk about the game we all caught most of. I think we were kind of struggling to just move on, but the Nets Bucks game. Let's dive into it. Let's get some live reactions to that. I want to go with Jay. What do you got to say, bro?
I mean, like I said, I mean the Nets are doing exactly what we expected, guys. They're starting to really turn it up. KD's starting to get in that form. I mean, anytime you see KD coming down court, kind of doing that little jog, half run he does, and then stop at the top of the key and give you a 1-2 go, whether it's a yomper from a pull up or a 1-2 go, and he's yomping on you at the rim. KD's in rhythm, and tonight he was in prime rhythm, prime form. I mean, it's going to be difficult for anybody to slow him down. And then another thing, I mean, we talked about it a little bit off air. Giannis is beating Giannis. Giannis should not have the ball in his hands. Every time we get into the playoffs, this dude wants to turn into LeBron James and bring the ball up the court, coast to coast, pulling up jumpers, taking the ball to the hole recklessly, if you ask me. And he's not utilizing. This isn't last year, the bubble. This is the year before. He's not utilizing what they got, their secret weapon. Where's Drew Holiday? Why isn't he bringing the ball up the court? Why aren't you letting him dictate the momentum? Why aren't you letting him break down the defense and then get you the ball in good positions? So I seen in one quarter at least 5 to 6 shots, you know, in a 10-shot concession that he just came down the court and threw something up. And you're not going to beat the Nets like that, period.
What do you got to say, Kenny?
This is scary. If you're watching the Nets right now, and any other teams in the league, you got to be really concerned, because these guys are like literally just stomping the Bucks right now. We thought that, and my thoughts was that this was basically the Eastern Conference Finals matchup. My thought was whoever wins this wins the Eastern Conference, because I thought that Embiid was compromised. So my thinking was going into this series is that whoever wins this was going to win the East. And this is just scary. The fact that they're just they're beating, like bludgeoning the Bucks by 20 and 30 points without James Harden. James Harden played 50 seconds of this game, of 2 games, and these games weren't even competitive. So the fact that they're doing this, this is really scary, because like Jay said, KD he's in his bag. You got his mojo, he got his swag, he's coming down the court.
Right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And when you got the one guy that is unguardable on your team, there's nobody else in the league that there's no other 7-footer in the league that can put it on the floor and can shoot from anywhere on the court, and he's never not open, in other words. Because when he rises and fires, and me and Jay, we were talking about this before the show, that when he rises and fires, it doesn't matter who's guarding him. You could contest if you want to. He's still going to get a shot off, and it doesn't affect him in any way, shape, or form. And so you got this guy, he's just really back to KD. And then, of course, you got Kyrie. And Harden just has hamstring tightness. This is not a pull. This is just tightness. He could come back at some point.
If we're up by 30.
Right. And they're honestly probably just being precautious right now. So the fact of the matter is, if Harden comes back and you got that 3-headed monster, I don't know if there's anybody that could slow these guys down.
Chris, before we go to you, I just want to throw out some stat lines. Just got them up. So Giannis, 31 minutes, 8 of 15 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 2 of 7 from the free throw line. He did have a triple-double. He had 10 boards. Oh, my bad. He had 10 boards, 4 assists, and a block on 18 points, but he was minus 22. The worst plus-minus for the Bucks came from Chris Middleton, who played 34 minutes, more than Giannis. So he played 3 more minutes than Giannis. Shot 7 for 20, 3 from 8 from 3. He had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, plus minus of minus 30 on 17 points. So it's not really going to cut it from your 1-2 combo.
Can I add too that it's not just the box score and his stats. You know, put that aside. When I'm watching Chris Middleton in the playoffs, and we sit up here and me and Freddie we sat back here and we argued back and forth, and then Freddie had his little rant about having heart. Chris Middleton does not even look aggressive in the playoffs. He doesn't even look
not
like
this round. He looked good against Miami.
Miami, yeah, but I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody pops his bubbles when he gets up against teams that he doesn't, that challenge
He's
the
afraid of the
team.
moment.
Yeah, because he just does not.
I just think
Even
it's
going in.
elite. It's just elite. There's levels to it, and I just think that Middleton, right now, this is the elite of the elite that they're going up against right now. So I'm not gonna really, I'm not gonna chalk it up against them that as bad because these are two elite. These are two special guys. Kyrie and KD are really just special, man.
That's
So,
an offense. I'm
What you guys say, Chris?
Yeah, what you guys hear?
I mean, one, Kevin Durant, like I've been saying for a long time, is the most skilled scorer to ever touch a basketball. Name me somebody that's 7 foot that's getting 32 points on 67% from the field. He's going 4 for 6 from the 3-point line. Like 32 points on 18 shots. He's like that's the definition
that's ultimate.
That's ultimate efficiency. That's
Yeah.
ultimate efficiency. And so when I look at this, I think and I laugh because I've been rooting for Brooklyn from an NBA standpoint because the narratives on them were so disrespectful because a lot were just personal narratives I was hearing. Then dumb people, and I'm saying dumb people, and I mean it because they said it didn't work. It wouldn't work. Y'all must not know basketball because this was by far going to work. James Harden's been averaging 10 assists. Kevin Durant just left the Warriors where he had to play team basketball. And Kyrie just left the Celtics and LeBron where he played off the ball. It was going to work. And so, but when I watch this game, Brooklyn is kind of making Milwaukee pay at their pace. Brooklyn's running up and down the court. Their skill is taking over, and I see Milwaukee doing the same thing. That's why when you see Giannis pulling up from 3, which he should never do, with 18 seconds left on the shot clock, it's because he's trying to play at that pace. Chris Middleton, I say this. I'm not going to say he's not aggressive because Chris Middleton was very aggressive. He was just taking bad shots. He put up 20 shots, the most out of the starters. He was just putting up terrible shots. And so when I look at Chris Middleton putting up those 20 shots, and a lot were bad until he got hot, Jrue Holiday should be taking more than 10 shots. Like, Chris, I understand you're supposed to be, the second option, but if you're not on, that's what you brought Jrue Holiday for. This is not previous years where you were by yourself on the perimeter. You had, like Jay said, your secret weapon is Jrue Holiday. Please use him for a reason because he's going to post up anybody who's guarding him. He'll take them to the basket, and he could be a mismatch. The Nets aren't the best defensive team. They just play team defense, and they get key stops. But if you don't utilize your weapons, you're only hurting yourself. Like Kenny said, they don't even have James Harden yet, and they're doing this. I wouldn't be surprised if James Harden doesn't even play Game 3 because even if you lose, you're up 2-1, and then you bring in James Harden. Like, I think you let him get 150% and let him come back on his own terms. But right now, Milwaukee's getting punched in the mouth. Milwaukee's getting punched in the mouth because their game plan is terrible. I understand you're a 3-point shooting team, but the past 2 games, you're not knocking down the 3. You have Kevin Durant guarding Brook Lopez. Me and Kenny talked about this earlier. Post up every single time, run down the court, rim run, and give it to him the ball. I love KD. People say he's not a defender. He's been a great rim protector this series. But he's not stopping Brook Lopez in the post. That should be option number 1, is dump it down at Brook. They take too many contested threes. They're taking too many threes in general. They're getting away from what makes them great, and that's their size versus everybody else. They're not utilizing that the right way. They keep wanting to play into Brooklyn's hands. Brooklyn, they have enough shooters to shoot 21 for 42. Because what you going to do with KD? You're not stopping him. He's going to get PJ Tucker in foul trouble, get Giannis in foul trouble. Kyrie Irving, you go ahead and put Giannis on him. He don't care. He's not afraid of the moment. So you got 2 guys that all your defense is looking towards, kicking out the shooters all day. That's hard to stop. So if I'm Milwaukee right now, you got to stick to the basics. You got to, 1, play better on offense, and 2, stop trying to play their style, play your style.
Let me say this real quick before Freddie goes. No, I just real quick. I think what Milwaukee's trying to do is they're trying to score with Brooklyn, and that's their problem.
This is KD's shot chart.
Yeah, they just
You can't compete with
Brooklyn
that.
scores so easily, and sometimes that they feel like they're trying to keep pace with them, and then you're just playing right into their hands if you're trying to keep pace with them, because those long shots, those are just fast break opportunities. So if you're not hitting those threes, then they're out on the break going the other way, ramming it right down your throat. So they're gonna have to really slow it down and just really start playing to their sides and finish and start playing inside out.
One more thing, real quick. This is Giannis shot chart. Way too many things out the perimeter, but also I said this before the playoffs started. There are others are going to win you 1 or 2 games each series. Right now, Blake Griffin is playing tremendous on both ends. Joe Harris is knocking down the 3, and you're getting big contributions from Mike James and Landry Shamet, and Claxton is playing good off the bench. They still don't have Jeff Green. Right now, if I'm Milwaukee, yes, Chris Middleton and stuff got to play better, but I'm looking at Teague, and I'm not Teague. I'm looking at what's his name, Forbes. I'm looking at Bobby Portis. I'm looking at PJ Tucker. Like y'all have to help out. When Giannis is driving to the paint, Drew, Chris Middleton, all eyes on them. Y'all gotta knock down these open threes. That's why the Nets is beating. They others is knocking down their shots.
Yeah, Freddie.
I don't care. It's over. Give the Nets the trophy. I said there's only one team that was able to stop them. It should have been the Bucks. But you know what? Like I said earlier in the show, what goes around comes back around. You remember when they had Boban was about to come there, when it leaked out all that stuff? Hey, I bet you that could change a lot of stuff. That could change the spacing of the floor. Chris Middleton, man, I mean, listen, man, you a scorer. And this dude is shooting the ball horrible right now. This dude, like Jay said, is not being effective. His dude is not even just making people say, you know, like, hey, we need to guard this dude.
He's taking tough shots. He's
Chris Middleton, he got to be better. You know, he got to be better. If he be better, he'll make it easier for Giannis. And then Drew Holiday, hey, you know, we have to ask a question: is Chris Middleton the second option, or should it be Drew Holiday? I mean, you know, like I said, that's only really the only team that you think that have a third, you know, that's supposed to have similar, not to what Brooklyn have is a 3-headed monster. Okay, this is supposed to be a triple threat in Milwaukee, like the watered down version, but they're not like. Hey, one of them, Giannis had a good game in game 1. He just need help from the others. And Chris, I absolutely agree. Brook Lopez should be dominating Blake Griffin. He should be dominating in the post. You know?
Blake's not guarding Brook. It's Kevin Durant.
Well, a little bit of both of them because they're taking turns playing the 5.
They need to be post ups immediately. As soon as you get down the
court,
they
were doing that in game 1. They were doing that in game 1 successfully.
And then you get them in foul trouble. Just think about if you have Giannis running down there, getting them in foul trouble.
Question.
Get them out the game.
Everybody, just real quick, just don't say why. Just say who you want. Everybody say who you want. Carver, you can pick out a call who you want to go first. KD, okay. Freddie, go ahead.
KD.
Oh, yeah, KD.
Go ahead, Carver. I'll go last.
Chris, my bad. Oh, I'll go. LeBron.
Yeah, I'm going LBJ as well.
Jay.
That's close. Jay said KD as well.
KD.
It's close.
Oh, you said KD. Was it score or just like?
Just who do you want?
I just watched KD.
In their prime, who do you want?
You know, I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna go to KD. I feel like he gets his own shot a little better than LeBron. I feel like
I'm sticking with LeBron.
That's the thing, man. And you know, KD
51 game 1 in the finals.
An underrated passer. He's a really underrated defender. He doesn't really get the credit as a defender. Mm-hmm. So, and you know, of course, we know LeBron is all around. But just KD, man.
And most of the time, KD do not run from the moment.
Yeah.
All right, I just said stay name. We're not about to get into this.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk quick. Let's talk about the game that's on. Jay, your Suns are playing currently. Looks like they're down by 3. It's 40-37. Denver's up with 8:47. Just some quick highlights. Michael Porter Jr.'s got 10 points, 3 rebounds. Nikola Jokic has got 10 points as well. He's got a block as well, 4 rebounds as well. And let's see here. We also have Jay Crowder's has got 8 points for the Suns, and DeAndre Ayton's got 9. D-Book only 5, but like I said, this game is still tight. So a lot's going to happen still in this game. Jay, I want to hear what you got to have to say about maybe this game and just the series in general.
So obviously I'm not really watching the game at this moment because we're doing.
I'll tell you what's going on.
This is looking. No, I'm watching this. I'm reading the play-by-plays, but just seeing this going down like this, Denver's in trouble. My biggest takes. There's only 2 personal fouls that we've committed. Crowder has both of them. DeAndre Ayton has no fouls. Then I flip on the other side, and their front court is already in foul trouble. Rivers has 2. Campazzo has a foul. So, and Michael Porter already has one as well. So, looking at those type of things, and Booker not even going off yet, I think they're gonna have a long series. Denver is, because they don't play very good defense, and we play very technical defense, very physical, and we're very consistent with taking good shots. So Monty's good at the picking up, making sure we pick out good shots. So, like I said, I think we're gonna mess around in 5, maybe.
I want to see what you have to say, Freddie. Your face is catching my attention.
That's just how he looked on the normal.
Yeah, he don't want to talk about the team that put him out.
He's upset. He think his team should be in there right now.
The series going 7.
Okay.
Jay, I will say this: you are lucky Jamal Murray is hurt and he is not playing, because Jamal Murray will be getting buckets. We've seen him the last time he was in the playoffs. But man, Ayton's gonna have to be a man now. Last year he was going against Andre Drummond. Now he's going against the Joker. He's going to have to be a man.
Anthony.
And then because the Joker gonna get him on that 3-point line. He'll get him away from that under that goal. So, I still think the Denver Nuggets are better than this Phoenix team. Show the clip. I still think they're better than this Phoenix team. I don't think Chris Paul is as healthy as we think he is. I think that shoulder still gonna give him problems. I mean, he only had 3 points this game. He has 6 assists though, but I mean, Denver's gonna find a way. I don't think you'll be able to go into Denver and win a game in the My House City. I think this last series, you didn't go against a great coach. Now you're going against a great coach, Mike Malone. I think he's going to make great adjustments and be able to win a game. Aaron Gordon's
what a backhanded compliment. Go ahead.
Aaron Gordon's playing good for this team as well. So I don't see you being Denver. It's going 7 games, and they'll take you out in 7 in your home court.
That sounded like some backwards.
That was shade. Man, that was shade.
He's just so upset right now.
Anybody get the number of the bus that Frank Vogel just got ran under? Oh my God!
No, Mike Malone's better than Frank Vogel. Let's be honest. I mean,
the championship winning Frank Vogel.
Exactly.
Mike Malone is a better coach than Frank Vogel. No disrespect.
Chris,
y'all saying Frank Vogel's better?
Chris, can you correct this, man? Can you straighten this out? Please, Chris, can you do us a favor?
You gotta stop being butthurt because your team lost.
Yeah, you're a prisoner
I'm
of the
not
moment.
butthurt.
Yeah, you're a prisoner of the moment. That man just led your team to an NBA championship, and you just said that Mike Malone.
So Frank Vogel's better than Mike Malone.
Yes,
Frank Vogel's better than Mike Malone.
You see the job he did with the Pacers?
Even if with Orlando,
he just saw LeBron James twinkle little James stars and stuff. Like, I don't know what he.
Frank Vogel's not better.
You know what it is? Hey, Jay, you beat this poor man. You beat this poor man.
You took his soul. He don't got no soul.
He's punch drunk. He's punch drunk. That's what it is. He's punch drunk.
Mike Malone is better than Frank Vogel, bro. Like, what's
all right, Freddie. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody. Okay, shut up. Your team lost. You're home. Sit down. Be quiet. We're talking
about your team next.
My team's still playing. Your team's at home. Huge difference. Even if we lose in the second round, you lost in the first round. You had no chance. Now back to this series, Freddie. Okay, now we're talking about this series right now. right now, the only reason why the Suns are down is because they're not knocking down the 3-pointers. Crowder is 1 for 5, and Michael Bridges is 1 for 4. They're getting easy, wide open looks that Chris Paul and Devin Booker and even DeAndre Ayton create for them, and they're not knocking down the threes. That's and Cam Johnson as well. Well, Johnson's 0 for 2. Like, yeah, you're right. The 3 guys that are your 3 and D4s that can guard 1 through 4 are not doing what they're supposed to do on the offensive end, and that's what's worrying them. Freddie's saying Chris Paul is not Chris Paul. Chris Paul is playing exactly like how he should, getting everybody involved, and he's knocking down these wide open mid ranges. Their keys are Chris Paul and Devin Booker. They're trying to make everybody else beat them, and right now everybody else is not knocking down their shots. Devin Booker did twist his ankle in the first quarter. It looked like he's perfectly fine now. Yeah, it looks like he's perfectly fine now.
He just busted a 3 in this guy's face.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's all about your others. The only reason that Denver beat Portland is because their others and Monte Morris and Aaron Gordon and Campazzo and Rivers play better than the Blazers. Right now, I think it's going to be others versus others. I think the Stars are going to equal each other out, and I think the Suns are going to win in 6. I think it's going to be close. I just think the Suns are winning in 6. Go ahead.
Because the other things is so important in this series because Chris Paul is not going to be the key in this series. He's going to be the key to the others in this series. Mm-hmm. Like right now, even as we're watching, he's 2 for 5.
I like that.
Yeah, he's 2 for 5, but he got 6 assists going on.
He should have 10.
But that's the key. No. That's gonna be the key. He's got to get those guys their open look to get them going.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he'll have 13. He'll average 13, 14 assists a game.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny, let's have you make a comment and then.
Yeah, I'm with Jay and Chris. I think. Well, with everybody, I guess, because everybody's pretty much saying the Suns.
I'm not.
So the thing that I'm looking at, we talked about it a little bit, is I'm really excited about seeing this matchup at the 5. It's kind of the young gun against the established, star, so the up and comer, against the established star. So I'm really looking forward to watching this matchup. And I really would have loved to see the 2 Kentucky guards
go at it. Me too.
And Murray go at it.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of fun. But I just think, I think this is Chris Paul's. Everything is kind of lining up for him. Mm-hmm. He's had a lot of bad breaks in terms of playoff luck or lack thereof. And I just think things are lining up, and he's going to get back to the Western Conference Finals and get past the Utah Jazz. I mean, not the Utah, but the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I'll make a quick comment. I think that Denver. I like Denver to win the series. It's still a tie game, so obviously it's 50-50 at this point. But I think their others are better. I think they're more veteran. When you guys got guys like Paul Millsap, just the team in general is a little more veteran. So I think if the series goes 6 or 7, I'll take Denver. But let's just move on. Kind of just combining some topics here. Just like in general, guys, let's talk about the West. Maybe the team now that we've got the new team set, maybe your favorite to come out of the West and why, kind of quick. You want to start with let's start with Kenny on this one.
Yeah, I think it's Phoenix's time. I think they got everything lined up for them to make a run. Now, the Utah Jazz are very formidable. They have a lot of firepower. So it's not going – to me, I think everything is going to go, according to seeds. And we see the Utah Jazz and Phoenix battle for the Western Conference championship. And it's kind of – this is more hard overhead. I just want to see Chris Paul get a chance to play in the finals. So this is more hard overhead, and I'm gonna go with Jay's Suns and have these Suns get to the final, get back to the NBA Finals.
Chris, who do you think's coming out of the West and why?
I'm stuck between 2 teams. The one team in Phoenix, I called them in the beginning of the year, and people again called me crazy. I said Devin Booker would be the MVP. Again, people called me crazy. So it's nice to see how this team is performing. Now he's performing. But I look at the Clippers, man, and I think they're still a tough out. Freddie, you're laughing, and I'm not. That's okay. You sit there and laugh.
It's feeling funny what you just said. I laugh. I hear something funny. I'm gonna laugh.
I feel you. I laugh at LeBron being in Cancun, but but it's like. But on a serious note, Kawhi is Kawhi, man. Like, and I understand about everybody else, but what we're seeing Kawhi doing in the playoffs, like he had a phenomenal series against Dallas. You know, I'm looking at, like I say, others. They got a nice squad over there in LA. Once they get Serge Ibaka back, I feel like everything's going to be better for them because now they're getting a 5 that can stretch the floor and also that can defend multiple positions. So I feel like with the healthy Serge Ibaka, this team can make a lot of noise. You know, I know Kawhi is going to be Kawhi, but if Paul George could just play like an all-star, they're a real tough out. They're a tough out. So right now, those are the two teams. Like, you know, like Kenny, I want to see Chris Paul win. So I'm stuck between those two teams right now.
All right, Jay. Take
Really
the homer cap
simple.
off. Take the homer hat off. Give it to us.
He could be. That's a real pick, though.
I know. I'm saying pick with your brand. I'm just saying I want the real. I want the truth. It can be the Suns, but
no, it's a really simple one here, though. I mean, as much as I'm gonna push for the Suns, and I want to see Chris Paul win, and we have a great team. We beat the defending champs, and you know we can't forget who won the year before. And I think he's on a better team than the year that he won over when he was in Toronto. So he's still there. Until we beat those two guys, until those two guys are out, nothing, you can't relax. So we got to watch Kawhi Leonard in LA. You still got to take him out, man. He's still a sniper.
Freddie.
Hell no. It ain't no damn Clipper. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all know basketball. That team almost got beat by one dude. One dude. And you talking about some
and name one dude that can play like that in the playoffs.
If Luka Doncic would have got at least one or two of the person help, they would have been out. Stop! I don't want to hear.
But they're not out though. And name one person in the playoffs that can do what Luka did. That's in the West.
Chris, if they would have won,
you keep saying if. You keep saying if.
I don't want to hear it. Now this series, we about to see Donovan Mitchell handle his business. We talking about this Jazz team that is loaded. That is loaded on the offensive side. Loaded. Man,
Clippers in 6.
The Clippers couldn't stop the Mavs threes when they was knocking them down. When they shot the ball better than they did in the regular season.
Clippers in 6.
And the Clippers,
you make a point there. The Jazz,
they're the best shooters. They're the best
shooters than the Mavericks.
And then with Kawhi, Paul George, they'll take a rest on the bench. You have Jordan Clarkson coming in there lighting you up, so there ain't no break time. This ain't Dallas where the others are not stepping up. The others will step up, and I believe it's going to be too much for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard on their shoulders. And you can say that all that Serge Ibaka. Are we sure he's gonna play? Are we sure he's gonna step on the foot of the court? I mean, well, I'm not sure of that. I mean, the dude's been missing for how long now? Listen, the Jazz is hungry. They're ready to go. Donovan Mitchell's not gonna get tired like Luka because he have lack of help. He have help, and I expect Donovan Mitchell to be great in this series. Utah in 6.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just, when I watched the Utah Jazz play their last series, Memphis was in every game in that fourth quarter up until 2-3 minutes. That's what I'm saying is going to go 6 every game close.
Yeah,
if you ask me to pick between
first time come back from injury, yeah.
If you ask me to pick between Donovan Mitchell and Kawhi, it's a no-brainer for me.
Well, it takes more than one person.
It's more pieces. Utah has more pieces in terms of, like Freddie was saying, that in terms of.
Is Mike Conley healthy? Because he got banged up towards the end of the series. You can talk about Serge. Who's more healthy?
They got a better all-around team. I'm
still sticking with Clippers in 6 though until proven otherwise.
And a better coach.
No, I agree. I agree.
Clippers is out of there. Kawhi, you know what it is.
All right, Carver, change the topic. Carver, change the topic.
All right,
change the topic.
Let's wrap it up, boys. Let's wrap it up with one of my favorite segments. I think this is always a good one. Start, cut, bench. The 3 players today. I think these are going to be a little influenced by the results that we just witnessed before these questions were sent in. But start, cut, bench. The 3 options are Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard. I want to start with Jay on this one.
Kawhi got to go.
What?
I thought it was easy.
Yeah,
you said Kawhi got to go.
I'm getting rid of Kawhi. I think that I don't know.
Gosh.
I like Giannis. I like his upside. I like
Who you
Giannis,
starting?
and then KD
Please, yeah.
since the get go. So
Who
I
you
think
starting?
if Giannis had a little bit more help, if Giannis had any better sidekick, he would be a lot further than where he's at. I think that Chris Middleton has let him down. He's not his Robin. He's not his Robin like he's has supposed to have been. Like imagine him having Paul George instead of Chris Middleton for these years, or
Who are
imagine
you
him
starting?
having somebody like that. So I go KD is a no brainer. I'm starting, and then I'm going Giannis. I'm getting rid of Kawhi.
Wow.
Freddie, I'll let you respond.
I'm starting Kevin
what's yours?
Durant. You talking about the player on this team to get a bucket anytime. You talking about get him at the 3-point line, mid range, dunk on you, whatever. You not stopping Kevin Durant, and he's shooting efficient. Then you talking about Kawhi Leonard, who's going to most of the time step up in the big games, who's going to come out aggressive, who's going to guard the best player, who can give you 50 anytime, who can get the mid range. And then Giannis, you have to cut him because we have not. It don't matter what Giannis do in the regular season anymore. It's about in the playoffs. He gonna step up when the moment counts, and he gonna take his team and get that win. So you have to cut Giannis.
All right, Chris, I gotta let you sink your teeth into this one.
I mean, Kevin Durant starting. That's a no-brainer. Kawhi off the bench, and Giannis is getting cut. Giannis has had no chance of making the team. Jay, you talking about the others? I seen Kevin Durant dominating the playoffs when Russell Westbrook got injured. I seen Kawhi dominate in the playoffs when he was when Paul George is shooting off the backboard, when Pascal Siakam can't get a bucket. like I understand you be talking about Giannis, others, but we got 3 players in front of us. Giannis is not sniffing and being in that top 3. And he's not sniffing it being that top 3. He's not sniffing it. Freddie finally said something I could agree with. Regular season is cool. Team's not really playing it for you. Giannis, go ahead, do your take your 4 steps in that dumb behind spin move. Go ahead, do that. Do that all you want in the regular season. Win 2 MVPs. You really should only win 1. In the playoffs, when we're in the playoffs right now, who has dominated so far? Kevin Durant is dominating. Kawhi Leonard just had one of the most dominant, efficient series of all time. Giannis' game is obsolete in the playoffs because all he's going to do is that stupid Euro, that stupid spin move, or he's finally going to try to use his height and do a jump hook once every 25 shots. Those 2 guys are above and beyond more talented, more skilled, and it shows on the court. It's not close for me. And I really want to put the guy in Freddie's jersey on there, and that might be Thursdays because I don't even know why I even attempted to put Giannis in here. I thought about it. I'm like, man, should I just put him? So that think about it because that's one
that
of
would
the
have been
Thursdays.
impossible. Oh my God.
Yeah. So don't speak on it now. That's Thursdays. But Giannis, he has no. Listen, you talking about 2 guys that 2-time final MVPs, a guy that won MVP, a guy that carried the team. Giannis. Kawhi beat Giannis. Kawhi shut Giannis down in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. He shut him down. Kawhi guarded Giannis, made Giannis feel like a little boy. It ain't close. Giannis hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more.
Kenny, wrap us up. Start
Oh
cut
man,
bench.
how can there's nothing else to be said. It's hard to top that. I'm gonna just say, just based off a resume, Giannis, he's the one that doesn't he doesn't measure up when it comes to resume. Out of those 3 guys, you got guys that are multiple champions, Finals MVPs of KD. So it's KD and Kawhi, and I'm starting KD because he's the most unstoppable player in the league, and then I'm benching Kawhi. But those 2 guys again, two-time champions, 2 finals, 2 times Finals MVPs, both of them, 2-time Finals MVPs. So Giannis' resume just doesn't measure up. Now, in terms of upside, of course, yes, he does have that, but he's got
still last.
Yeah, he just doesn't. It just doesn't measure up. So yeah, Giannis goes bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with Freddie, Chris, and Kenny. I would start Kevin Durant. I would bench Kawhi Leonard, and I would definitely cut Giannis.
All that crap you were just talking about Giannis, and the fact that you just picked him over Kawhi blew my mind. It blew my mind.
Hey, I told you, I expect more from him. That's because I like it. I think that as far as what he has to bring to the table dynamically is great. He's just not a jump shooter. Stick to what you do.
Until I can see him carry a team like those other two guys, bro, you last. Superstars make up.
Man. He has. He just led
Kawhi,
he just
In the
beat
led
him.
regular
LeBron
season,
teams in
not in the
the past.
playoffs.
Kawhi, listen, they
Not in the
matched
playoffs.
up in the playoffs, and the teams was even. One star played better than the other star.
Well, guess what? He's not my favorite player. My favorite player is playing. So
Mm-hmm. My favorite player is still playing too. You know, he just had 39, but that's another story. We say that for
All right, guys, let's wrap it up.
Did they
Let's wrap
win?
this one up.
Cancun.
Let's wrap it up, fellas. All right, guys.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Everybody who joined us, made it to the end. We appreciate it here at the All Sports All Plays Network. All Sports All Plays Network. Yes.
We got it.
Real Talk Crew is here, guys. Let you guys shout out, say whatever you need to say.
Peace out.
Yeah, tune in Thursday. We're coming back.
Tune in Thursday. Real quick before we end, Carver, who wins, Utah or the Clippers? Who wins how many games, Carver?
I'm gonna take Utah in 6. I don't think. I think they're a better team overall. Maybe some intangible things as well than the Clippers. I think the Clippers. I can't see them in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay. We're gonna talk
Donnie
about this.
Mitchell.
Lakers fans, they don't want to see the Clippers.
Yeah, they don't want to see the Clippers. It's okay. Then we'll talk about this Thursday.
All right, yeah. Join us back here on Thursday. We're here Mondays, Thursdays, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Thank you. We're out.
Peace.
yeah.